In my view, Mr. Matlala, you're not a businessman. You're a crook.
I am.
You're a thief, you're a fraud, and you're corrupt. And the problem in this country today is that people like yourself clothe yourself in respectability of calling yourself a businessman when you are nothing but a dishonest thug. You make an illicit fortune by stealing from the poorest of the poor. It's people like you and your associates that have robbed generations of South African children of their futures. Shame on you, sir. I'm finished, Chair.
Do you have any comment to make on the statement?
I don't have any comments.
Members of Parliament confronted Kurt Matlala over a long trial of arrest, political links, and a R500,000 payment to Bheki Cele. Alleged underworld figure and entrepreneur Vusimuzi Kurt Matlala faced an intense grilling on Thursday as members of Parliament tore into his past, questioning how he has evaded conviction despite a string of arrests spanning more than 2 decades. Vusimuzi Kurt Matlala appeared before Parliament's ad hoc committee investigating corruption within police. Testifying from Kgoshi Correctional Center in Pretoria, he is currently behind bars charged with attempted murder for allegedly plotting to kill his former partner, socialite Tebogo Tshobejane. Throughout the session, Matlala insisted he has just one conviction, a 2001 case of dealing in stolen goods, which earned him a 4-year prison sentence. But the DA Member of Parliament, Glenis Bresenberg, challenged that claim, laying out an extensive list of arrest and withdrawn cases dating back to 2000. This included 2 theft from vehicle cases, 2000, a 2006 cash and transit heist arrest, he was acquitted, a 2011 car theft case withdrawn, 3 separate matters in 2012 including an assault charge, a 2013 house robbery case, a 2015 carjacking arrest, 2016 charges of possessing an unlicensed firearm, impersonating a police officer and obstructing the police, all withdrawn, a 2018 attempted murder charge withdrawn. Bresenberg said there is quite a checkered history. Most people don't rack up that kind of history with police. She then delivered the question Matlala had been resisting and said, how is it that you live such a charmed life? Out of that entire list, you were convicted only once, were the rest just nonsense charges? Matlala's reply was I supposed to be convicted? Cases were withdrawn because I was not guilty. Bresenberg pressed further, questioning his relationships with senior police officers, and said you have a long history with the police, yet you deny having unusually close access to high-ranking officials. Why is that? Matlala said his network is broad and not limited to law enforcement circles. Bresenberg counted that even in her 26 years as a prosecutor and 14 years in politics, she has never had police officials on speed dial, and said, yet you have an entire list full of them. How does that happen? Matlala attributed these connections partly to his now cancelled 360 million rand health services contract with SAPS. Matlala reiterated his explosive claims that he paid former police minister Bheki Cele 500,000 rand in 2 installments, after Cele allegedly demanded money to help recover Matlala's seized firearms and make problems go away. Asked whether the payment amounted to a bribe, Matlala agreed that from Cele's side, it could be seen as corruption. Said, of course, when asked whether he expected Cele to intervene. Matlala confirmed he owns 4 licensed firearms, 2 pistols, a shotgun, and an assault rifle, saying the licenses were obtained through normal processes. Police had seized the weapons multiple times to verify their legitimacy. Bresenberg pointed out that applicants with previous convictions typically struggle to get gun licenses or register private security companies. Matlala insisted his solitary conviction was non-violent and therefore not disqualifying. He told members of parliament his private security firm, Cat VIP Protection Services, earns around 2 million rand a month, depending on client volume. Matlela defended payments he made to alleged ANC political fixer Oupa Brown Mokgotsi for the party's January 8 celebrations, denying that he casually dishes out cash. He said, I explained why I had to give that money. Even myself, I felt it. He denied ever paying anyone to secure the disputed 260 million rand SAPS tender or bribing police officers or members of the judiciary. President Berg closed her interrogation with a blistering personal assessment and said, in my view, Mr. Matlala, you are not a businessman, you are a crook, you are a thief, you are a fraud, and you are corrupt. You make an illicit fortune by stealing from the poorest of the poor. It's people like you and your associates that have robbed generations of South African children of their future. Shame on you, sir. Matlala, unfazed, simply replied, I don't have any comments. Matlala has also rejected WhatsApp messages linking him to Brown Mokgotsi, saying his phone was tampered with. The comments he has heard how alleged information pipeline fixer Brown Mokgotsi has been accused of being the middleman between Minister Senzo Mchunu and Matlala. Matlala and Mokgotsi are alleged to be the key link in the alleged criminal infiltration of law enforcement and the decision to disband the political King Stars team. But Matlala questioned the authenticity of the messages between him and Mokgotsi that were put to him before the committee, and said, remember I spoke to you about the WhatsApps and that some of them, they are fabricated, and I said I want to address the chairperson about them. He also denied any involvement in any decision to disband the political Killing Stars team. Said, I don't know what power I would have to disband the unit from SAPS. When I heard from my affidavit is that thing was planned, I think way back in 2019.
Firearms, cell phones, gadgets and similar items were taken from your property during the raid on the 6th of September and again in a subsequent raid, right? I would like to clarify the following. When you received your items back from SAPS, how exactly did you collect them and what did you collect?
I went to the police station and I went there with my protectors, and then they said I must go to the at the back there's an SAP 13, and I found a gentleman there at SAP 13, and then who said I must produce my ID document to confirm that it's me, and then I showed him, and then he took out the register book and then he booked them out.
Okay. You are saying he booked them out. That means you took many things. I put it to you, I visited Brooklyn SAPS. I went to verify and I tested what you told us yesterday. I'm just back from there. I went yesterday and I went again today. You only took one item out of that SAP 13.
One item?
One item.
What is one item?
You took. I put it to you that you on that day, you only took one firearm is what you signed
that
for. That is in the SAP 13 book.
I'm saying that's a total lie. It's impossible. I got all my firearms.
I personally checked the records this afternoon and they indicate that you only collected a single Beretta pistol. Is that correct?
It's not correct. It's a total lie. And I'm starting to have worries now.
Why did you not collect all the other firearms? Because on the first raid, I think they raided and they took about 5 firearms that was there with ammunition. The second raid was probably about 20 firearms that was recorded in that book that I saw today.
That is a lie.
It's a lie.
It's a lie, yes.
I put it to you that the person that signed for those items is a lady. A lady collected.
It's not a lady, it's a guy from Northwest. He speaks Tswana. You see, that is something
you
that
didn't
I don't
collect
understand.
it, sir. But you didn't collect your items. Someone else collected those items on the 31st of December.
It was me. I remember very well. Even my VIP car, it was broken there outside. They had to fetch me with another car. I was there myself.
I'm saying to you, I sat in that office earlier on when I left this place. A lady collected the remainder of those items on the 31st of December. I put it to you. You claimed that your watches were missing. You claimed that your laptop was missing. You claimed that SAPS has stolen from you. Yet you did not open up a case for your watches, your Rolex, your laptop and everything else. You didn't open up no case for that because that wasn't recorded in the SAP 30.
raising your voice because of this. Because I'm
You
not
are
fighting with you.
lying. Because you are worth me raising my voice to.
No, you are also lying because what you're saying is not true.
I saw. So you are saying that I'm blind.
I'm saying that you are not telling the truth.
I'm
That is a
talking the
lie.
truth.
Yes, 100%.
I'm saying so.
I have
I'm
proof.
saying to you that the records reflect that you did not fetch your own firearms.
No. Then how did my firearm go to my office?
So this is why this committee needs a forensic investigator so that we don't have to do our own investigations. But I did it anyway today.
It's impossible.
I put it to you. When I ask questions,
No.
it's not because I don't know the answers. You collect.
I remember very well. It was on New Year's Eve. The guy told me that
Yes, it was on New Year's Eve. I'm telling you, it was on New Year's
The
Eve.
guy said to me that he stays in. He's from Northwest. He was even speaking Tswana. I remember very well that day. I will never forget. They came with a black BMW.
Matala
Yes.
and Honorable James.
Or James Wayaga.
No, wait, Matala, you. May you.
What's your take on this one, people? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more news.